Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to
Hi.
day 2 of Align with Purpose. We're so grateful to be here with you all. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here live with us. So grateful. We're going to say hi to everyone in a moment. We'd love to hear how y'all are feeling today. We got some amazing comments that came in, and I loved seeing all your posts and your pictures. Please let us know in the comments how you're feeling today.
Or you can do it on screen with a variation of the thumbs up thing, double thumbs up, one side, one down, one left, however you're feeling,
Because I know some of you are at work today too, right? So you guys are like in between, you're having lunch, doing the multiple things, right?
Yeah.
We're so grateful to have you all here. We're going to do a quick introduction because we have new people who have joined even since yesterday. And one of our dear friends who we got to meet actually in person, which was just incredible, Maria Fontana. Some of you
Yeah.
know her through us because we've interviewed her on our podcast. And she shared with her community what was happening here with the Align with Purpose. And she was so happy to share. And so we have new people that have joined even from yesterday. And Maria is like a powerhouse. And when we saw her when I saw her for the first time, some of you might have seen the video, but I love recording when you like see someone for the first time because it's this magical moment of like,
Like just it's squealing basically.
so fun. It was so fun. So I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is taraantler.
And I'm King Gabriel.
And for me, you guys know we're the co-founders of Ascension Academy of Light, which is a global center that specializes in meditation, manifestation, intuition expansion, and really that inner alchemy so that we can get ourselves clear and align with our purpose. That's really what we're doing here today is helping and well, all this week, really helping you all get clear on your purpose and the next layer of your purpose. And we're going to talk about that more today in terms of the layers, and same with tomorrow and the next day. And one of the things that I've always loved to do most, being an intuitive healer, soul coach, and spiritual teacher for over 23 years now, is I love helping people clear out the ick and the stick. Some of you know that phrase for me. The ick and the stick is what I've always called it because it feels like that, you know? It's not just, I don't like focusing too much on the traumas because that can be sticky, but I call it the ick and the stick because it's easier, it's lighter. Even when I'm describing it with the kiddos, I'm like, this is just ick and stick. This is stuff that just, it's like, it feels sticky, it's icky. So we're going to get it moving, and be able to clear it so that when we're clear, and this is what we're going to do today, clear out some of the obstacles that are in the way of you really getting clear on your purpose and the next layer, but then also starting to actualize it. We have to clean house first. Without cleaning house, we're layering on top. And then all this stuff from the bottom, all this stuff from underneath, it's seeping through. And I believe this is why a lot of times people aren't able to manifest at the speed that they want or create their purpose in the way that they want because all that other past stuff is seeping up and seeping through. So we're going to clear some ick and stick today. And then once we do, the passageway up to the higher self, our soul, it's easy at that point. And when we connect to your higher self, all this beautiful energy starts to trickle in. Someone tagged me in a post and they said, everybody gets so focused on the daily triggers. And this was a new perspective of the glimmer, which I had heard about before. The glimmer or the shimmer. There's always a glimmer and a shimmer to our day as well. And so you're more able to see that, feel that when the ick and the stick is cleared out. So this is why we build this into today, because it's important for everyone to get clear.
Yes. And my specialty in a synopsis is making the impossible possible. Sometimes in life we run through challenges and it gets us to believing that things would be extremely difficult, number one, or that for us, they might be impossible, right? But that's just a belief,
That's
which we're going
just
to dive into today, right? It's a belief, and sometimes that belief hinders us from even taking action. Sometimes we just sit still. So I've seen through a multitude of clients, and I'm telling you, like people in terms of healing and all, I've had so many miraculous healings happen as a result of me being present and in the space of believing that it could happen firstly, but then being open to the energy flowing for it to happen. Right. And we all can do it. It's not like some sort of special thing that one has and another doesn't. It's just being available to that. Right. And that's what I've learned over time. So I really feel that in terms of becoming the type of person that you'd like to be or expressing the life that you'd like to express, it's really just that slight shift internally. It's a little shift. It's like you just turn a nozzle a little bit and then all of a sudden it all comes rushing in. And that's what we love doing. So right now we're in that space of being able to do that with you. And today in particular, we're gonna go through that and allow that process to take place in you. So whichever beliefs you have that are keeping you repeating the same patterns or feeling like, like they say Groundhog Day, going through that whole Groundhog Day experience over and over, let's make a shift in that and have a different scenario arise from it. Right. The kids are with us today, so you might hear them passing by and doing their little highs. We're very welcome in that way. We have our we're all inclusive. So we won't be dropping any F-bombs or anything like that
best.
today. Hopefully,
I'll do
Tara.
my best.
Right,
I'll do my best.
right. We won't be dropping any F-bombs and it's family friendly, right? And we're gonna keep it that way. Okay. See you guys.
Yeah. And so let's say hi to some people who are here with us. So I want to say hi to Laura over there, someone we've known
Jack,
a really
what's up,
long
man?
time.
Good to see you. Jack's here. Good to see you, Jack.
Gosh, I'm going to tell you very quickly. So Michelle Drake has been a dear friend for way before I met Gabriel even.
Yeah.
One of the first photo shoots I ever did, I met Michelle Drake. We were both a part of this. What was the name of that, Michelle? Do you remember what it was called? We were part of this circle and Matt, it was like a group, and then we had this photo shoot and there was all these different elements. What was it called?
I don't remember, but
She
it
can't
was
remember
it was
either. It was so
interesting
long
how it
ago.
attracted us, whatever they did. But Jennifer Ettinger was there too.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so powerful and so fun. And when I first met Jack and Zoe, they were just little, like little. So
Yeah,
Jack,
that's
it's so
crazy.
nice to see you because now he's like an adult, officially an adult, all grown up.
He's a grown man. What are you talking about?
Thing, So, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. As soon as you said it, I was like, where is he? I had to find you on the screen.
Good to
It's
see
so
you,
good
Jack.
to see
Really
you,
good to see you.
Jack. And
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
Michelle, for bringing Jack here as well. It's so grateful. Hi, Tika. So nice to see you. Hi, Lisa. Lisa's from Northern Ontario, where we are originally. Hi, Beverly. Nice to see you. Hi, Alexandra. Alexandra and I, we like chat all the time. We got like voice notes going all
Hey,
the time.
Carlin. Good to see you.
Oh, I haven't seen Carlin in so long too.
feels
This
like
is
it,
her
eh?
third baby. Look at that.
Sweetie pie. Ah. Hi.
Carlin and I met before she even had babies, before she even had family. And now she's got 3 little ones, which is so incredible. Living her life, doing her thing. So, so good. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Hi, Madison. So grateful to
Maddie.
see you. Hi, Linda. Thank you for being here. So grateful. I was checking out your profile just last night. You're doing some big things in the world. Hi, Caitlin. Nice to see you. Gabriel sent your report your way.
Yes, you did.
Hi, Mindy. Nice to see you as well. Mindy's been in our world a long time. Hi, honey.
Me too.
The
Bye, yeah.
kiddos. So good. I have to make sure.
Good. We're keeping it family friendly today for sure. For sure.
Hi, Zoe. Nice to see you. Zoe's been in our world a long time too. Hi, Sonia.
Hey, Sonia.
Hi, Shri Ram.
Ram.
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Gina. Nice to see you. Gina's in Northern Ontario too. Hi, Gail. Gail, I just met actually in person at some of the events that I was at. So it's so nice to have you here. Thank
Hi,
you
Gail.
so much. Hi, Christine. Nice to have you. And Jess. Jess, I've known a long time too.
Yes.
All the way back to when I did my yoga teachers training in Costa Rica. And I was 30, 29 and 30. And then I found out about California being like this hot spot for all the cool things. So I decided, well, I'm going to go to California. And I met Jess and we've been really great friends and I've stayed with her. Aria's stayed with her. She's joined us on retreat. So nice to have you all. It's nice to see everyone. And hi to everyone who's catching the replay. Hi, iPhone over there. I can't see who you are, but I'll say hi. There you are. Oh yeah, it's Laura. There she is. She was on her side.
Laura.
I was like,
Hey. Okay. Good.
so grateful to have y'all. And hi to everybody who's catching the replay. All right, so we're going to dive on in because today there is a lot that we want to cover, especially when it comes to clearing obstacles, right?
Yeah.
And one thing that I want to mention now, if you don't have a workbook, okay, if you don't have the workbook as yet, just type the word workbook in the comments. Alexandra will reach out to you and send it to you directly. Somebody was asking, they said, I didn't seem to see the workbook in the email. I said, yeah, because email these days is going to spam like crazy. And then we get the messages anyways where people are like, can I get the workbook? So I said, let's just simplify this. I'm all about simplification. And I said, let's just have everybody reach out to Alexandra directly, and then she'll send it to you to make sure that you get it. Okay. So Alexandra is she's works with us. She does many, many things. She works with our clients. She teaches and facilitates. She does a lot of the back end pieces. She's connecting with our clients all the time. So Alexandra, I'd love for you to say hi so that people get to see your face too and get to know you just for a moment.
Hi guys. I know if you ever see me moving back and forth, that's sometimes why you won't see my face because I'm like on all the things. I'm in the background. I'm over on Facebook. I'm on Messenger, getting you all the links. But so nice. I know a lot of you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Alexandra. I am a clarity coach here in the community. I am also head of client expansion and development. So I have the pleasure of being able to support Tara and Gabriel's community. And I just, speaking of like beliefs, I know we're diving into that, and I just want to touch on it because I know you and Gabriel both shared briefly and, acknowledge that it's so interesting how our beliefs, obviously they impact our experience, but I was just reflecting on my morning this morning and, having the freedom and time to get my kids ready and off to school and connect with them. And then I had a really beautiful client session with one of the members in our community. And then I was able to take a walk by the lake before jumping on and like really grounding in before jumping into this session here with you guys. And here now I get to support and lead, from the back end here with you guys. So just like a complete shift from, if you asked me 10 years ago, would I be doing this? I don't think I would have been able to describe it. So just want to acknowledge and like extend my gratitude because obviously you're both a really big part of that. But just knowing that's what the conversation we're leading into and the impact it has, right, on our overall experience. So grateful to be here and to be able to connect with you guys.
Oh, thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Alexandra.
I have been like a teary-eyed mess for like a week now. So it's like I just again, it just hits the heartstrings because when you are really stepping into alignment with your purpose, you feel it, right? I think a lot of the world, we get heavy in the head. We get heavy in the head. And even though we're going to talk about beliefs today, we also want you to take whatever beliefs and framework that's going to help solidify things for you. We really want you to drop it in. That's why I always say we bring it in, we bring it down. You embody it. Without the embodiment, it's just heavy in the head. It's just another thought. And we're bombarded by thoughts all day long. What I've really learned as a powerful practice is to slow everything down for a second and really be present. This has helped me be and this is not in your notes. So like I said yesterday, we like to flow. So when drop downs start to come, I'm not going to stop them. Be like, oh, sorry, creator. Like, I know better. I don't, right? So I'm going to like surrender to the divine and what's coming through. So this is not in your notes. But one of the things that I've found so helpful, and people have asked us this all the time. How do you guys do everything that you do? How do you run the business, the company that you have, the multiple layers within the company, the multiple programs that you have within your company, the multiple clients? Like at any given time, we have anywhere from 100 to 200 clients in our world. And then you can imagine if any of you have ever run a business, there's a lot of back end stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just like, yay, we're showing up, we're going live. Like there's a million things that happen behind the scenes. Plus we have our kiddos and we homeschool. Plus now we're traveling. And many of you know that we live in Canada 6 months and we live in Mexico 6 months, which I feel is about to change. I think we're going to be in Florida for a couple months and then in Mexico. There's some changes happening because we're being realigned. And we can be able to do that because we're present. We're present to what the energy is asking of us. We're present to ourself. We're present to our intuition. We were supposed to be on the road this morning, getting ready to go back up because there was another conference that I was going to go to in Chicago for 2 days. And the last couple of days I tuned in, and every time I tuned in and I asked the question, is in the highest and best good? And I'm a vocalizer. So for me, I have to be able to express it out loud. If I keep it inside, it gets all muddled and murky. Anyone relate to that? That if you keep the stuff inside, it gets really murky and then you can't have clarity and direction. So if ever you've experienced that, let me know if that's you. If you've ever experienced that, one of the things that I found really, really helpful, and again, this isn't in the notes, this is like just what's streaming through, vocalize. Find a community, have a space, have people, have peers that you can vocalize. Yeah, right? I had a feeling some of you were vocalizers. If you like to express, it's important to be able to say it because the moment you say it, you feel something about it. But if you keep it all up in your head, it stays up in your head. And your head has millions of thoughts in a moment. And then it's challenging. This is an obstacle. One of the obstacles with making decisions, one of the obstacles to living your purpose and being in full alignment with your next level of your purpose is sometimes we keep it all in our head. And the obstacle is there's many varying thoughts. There's your thoughts, your ego's thoughts, the world's thoughts, shadow thoughts. There's influence that can come in. There's also your past way of being and doing things that can also come in, which comes from the limbic brain. This is the old part of you. This is consciousness. So there's different layers. No being quiet with boys. If it was Aria walking
She's trying to
through
make the
space,
most noise possible. It's amazing.
tiptoe. She'd tiptoe through space. She'd be like, the boys, no. It's like the bull in the china shop, right? Oh my gosh. It's so funny. So the key then is to, if I know that my mind and my mental sphere is filled with a lot, then it serves me then to either journal write to get clarity. Some of you might use that as a tool. Some of you might be vocalizers and expressors. For most of the leaders, the teachers in the world, if you're serving, chances are you're an expressor. That you're an expressor. You're here to serve, you're here to express, you're here to vocalize your gifts. Some of you might be more of an internal expressor or a processor, and that's where using journal writing is really great, because you get your thoughts out and you get all that, whatever the confusion is, and you then see clarity. It's like it jumps off the page at you, right? So use those two tools to help you clarify. That's one practice that you can use, and I've found that that's so helpful, because again, when we have multiple things going on and multiple layers and pieces, the second piece of that is being able to get present. If I'm jammed up in my thoughts and overthinking and overanalyzing, it gets complicated and I'm not going to be able to hear the clarity. The moment I was able to vocalize, I even said it to Aria yesterday, and when I was meditating again this morning, I'm talking straight up, like I'm like, Creator, higher self, God, the divine, whatever you want to call it. Is it in the highest and best good for us to leave today, like to start making our journey back up? Immediately my body started indicating no. I got a full no passage in my being. When I talked to Aria about it yesterday, immediately I felt no, without me having to overthink it. So this is where you get to layer in your intuition when you're making decisions. But part of that is being able to cut the noise of the thoughts for a moment. This is where meditation comes in, breath work comes in, physical working out comes in, having a practice, some way, journaling, vocalizing, where you can get to a point of clarity and presence. Clarity and presence. And when you're present, then you're able to navigate all the moving parts in your life. The things don't seem so overwhelming. You can navigate it all. You can move all of it. Okay. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I want to add that the information that comes in from the environment, like we're speaking about here, uh, it's not so much like people usually think of it as the emotions are really separate from the thoughts. It's just that's the way that we process. We tend to compartmentalize everything, right? We want to put thoughts in its own section and say the thoughts do this and the emotions do this. But really, it's just the way that we process information with our whole selves, right? And so when a thought comes in that doesn't feel so good, it's not necessarily that it's a bad thought per se. It's just our reaction to that thought based on how we functioned in life has brought us to the point where we might view that differently. So we might have a bit of resistance to it still, or have something swirl within us as a result. And we're going to deal with that as we continue to talk today. That swirling with us, even though it feels bad in that instant, may not necessarily be it should not necessarily be excluded from our path of growth. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about to make this a little clearer. If your goal was to get in shape, okay, readily available, your goal is to get in shape. Will sitting on your couch, drinking coffee, and eating all the delicious breads in the world get you there? No, but it feels good sometimes to do that, right? It'll feel good to do that sometimes, but it won't get you there, right? However, the thing that you have to do, which is probably get up and move and take some sort of action, you mightn't like to do that. That'll feel off to you. Yeah, I don't feel like doing it, right? But the fact is, that's something that you do have to do to get there, right? So then, here's a different spin on this. I just wanted to show you that example because this is how it could look. Let's say you had some goal now of, and I'll use something that's real here. Let's say you're moving towards becoming a pro in a sport or doing something that's exciting to you. That same action that we're speaking about of getting up and doing that, now because of the context that you set for it, might now seem appealing to you. It might be like, I can't wait to get up and do this because now that point has a greater pull to you and you find yourself moving in that direction with greater ease. So by looking at the situation differently and feeling differently as a result of how you look at it, Now you're in action. Now you're alive. Your light has come on, in a sense, right? So this is a lot of what we'll do in the belief section in particular, because it's not the thing itself or the information itself that is the problem. It's how we contextualize the information, how what we believe because of what we've learned up to this point and who we see ourselves as at this point might be the thing that's stopping us from taking this step. And the step doesn't have to be a hard step, it can be an easy step. So I just wanted to bring that up in the space, because some of us may think that the obstacles are just there and they just landed on us. They didn't land on us. We viewed it, we reviewed it, and we found it to be a specific way. And so we take action according to how we view it, when really internally our emotions and everything would be in alignment if we can just recontextualize it and start to see it from a perspective that's empowering for action, for inspiration, for motivation, etc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So today, what we're going to do then is solidify what you came here for. So as Gabriel was talking about, like you
Yeah.
all have goals, you have an intention. If you weren't here yesterday, we talked a little bit about goals, intentions, and dreams. So bring that back up in your awareness, write it down somewhere. What's the dream? What's the goal? What's the intention? What do you want your life to look like? How do you want it to feel? What's something that you really would love? We get to create anything that we want here, by the way. You have that much freedom and that much power. We all get to create whatever that looks like for us. Bliss on earth, heaven on earth, joy on earth, health on earth, abundance on earth, whatever that looks like for each of us. We have the right to be able to choose. And when you get clear on that, here's how obstacles come up, right? So I've got like 5 thought bubbles happening at the same time. See what I mean? Like, right? So if we want to solidify what we came here for, we first have to get clear. You got to get clear on what you came here for. What do you want? What do you want to experience? What's the now thing that you want to experience? Then what happens is, and this is how obstacles come up, okay? So again, this isn't in your notes, but you take in what you need, write down what you need, or just receive. Obstacles don't come up to throw us off course.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big misperception. I've heard this so much, especially in the spiritual world. I made this decision to do this thing, or I set in motion this intention or this goal or this dream, and then all hell broke loose. All this stuff started to come up. And then the mind goes, oh, I don't think that this is the way. This is not safe. And we misinterpret that as our higher self or spirit source creator God telling us that no, you're going the wrong way.
Sure.
Wee oh, alarm bells are going off, all the red flags, all the humps, all the things are starting, and you're like, oh, no, I just wanted it to be easy.
This must be the wrong path.
Must be the wrong path. Way. I did something wrong. I set something wrong in motion, and we start being hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
Those are just part of the obstacles. Yeah. This is part of your belief systems. The BS, this is part of your belief systems coming up to highlight, to show your higher self is actually doing you a service, not disservice, a service in showing you, hey, we want you to get that. We want you to have that. We want you to experience that. We want you to fulfill this part of your purpose. Yeah. And we have to highlight for you all the stuff and the obstacles, the barriers that are in you, not in the world that's in the way. This is the misperception. We all of a sudden are like, oh my God, look at all these barriers in the world. Look at all this stuff that's coming at me. I wrote something down this morning. I was on my yoga mat and I wrote something down. I had so much come through because I had to write this down. I actually did a little post about this. How does consciousness rise or change? So let's pause here for a second and think about the world. Let's look out at the world. How does the world's consciousness change? We talked about this yesterday, right? We can feel the speeding up. We can feel changes happening. We can feel energy rising. We can feel people are waking up like wildfire. We can see that there's all sorts of transformation happening. We can see people are being called up to their purpose, like rapid, like I've never seen it like this ever before, where people are asking really big questions. How did we get to this tipping point where all of a sudden there's this massive wave of uprising consciousness? How did we get here? Do you think that it was like some big mother lode of a something that just like poured down into us? Maybe. I actually believe that it's us. It's you and I. Every time we do the work, every time we heal something, every time we shift something, every time we clear something, every time we alchemize something, every time we change our belief system that's been holding out inside of us, you free up that energy that's inside of you. You free it up from your energy field, because we're energy healers. You free it up from your energy field. Your field gets clear, it gets luminescent, it gets brighter because there's space. The light is always there. It's just the obstacles are kind of dimming it and hiding and making a little bit of a shadow.
Like clouds over the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you clear those clouds, you clear the dim, you clear the shadow, you become luminescent, you become vibrant, you become closer to what you actually are, which is your soul self. You become closer to that naturally. And each time each one of us does that, there's this expansion of light. If any of you have ever experienced some sort of energy attunement or a divination of some sort, divination can happen sitting under a tree. It could happen connecting and talking to spirit source, creator, God, the infinite, the divine.
Revelation.
It can happen in a Reiki attunement. It can happen in a meditative experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when that energy comes through, you're like, whoa, it's so big and rushing and full that it just expands you. It ripples out and you feel it. And you're feeling it, but we forget that others are feeling it too. Remember yesterday I shared, there was a statement that I learned from one of my teachers back in the day. Many of you know this if you're in Thrive and Light Leadership. I say it all the time. Heal the one, you heal all. When you transform something, it's not just for you, it's for everybody. And so as each one of us does that, we're changing the consciousness, we're changing the field because we're elevating us.
And there's an important aspect of that based on exactly what we were speaking about a second ago also. The aspect is that it does change with us and through us, yet when the changing is happening, how it looks in the world is that it looks as if the opposite of that has arisen. And why is that really? Right? Because you don't see the need for change unless you see something to change. You have to see the something before the change can occur. Right? For instance, if you see injustice in the world, you have to see that injustice in some way or some form and say, that is not okay. You have to feel a way about that, as in not wanting to continue that, to even have the desire to make change. Again, if we bring it back to us reaching some sort of goal, right? If you are avoiding doing a specific type of exercise that you know is the exercise you need to do, what will happen is you'll feel weakness in that area until you decide to address that area, right? So some of the things that we avoid doing or moving towards are the exact things that we kind of need to be doing to have our growth. And that's what the world does for us. It always highlights the areas that we're either avoiding, right? Or the areas that we need to address so that we can address them or at least desire to address them and then start to make change in them, right? And it's not that we're stuck in them and we're going to stay in them forever. It's just you got to see it sometime in order to change it, right? If your hair is extremely long, for instance, and you've never trimmed your hair or anything like that, nothing's wrong with having long hair. You guys know I had long hair before, right? Dreads and all that stuff, love it. But it's not that time anymore. Either way, if your hair is really long and it's unkempt or anything like that, right? And you see it all the time, okay? After a while, you could see it and be like, huh, I don't like this anymore. And seeing it and not liking it anymore could lead you to wanting to make that change. But you first have to see it. If you didn't see it at all, and it was just all right, like if we never had mirrors, nobody would care, right? Because they would never see themselves, right? But the fact that you see it and you want to make that change was brought about by that mirror. And the world is just like that. That's why they kind of say the world is a mirror. The world lets you see what you favor, what you like. It lets you see your inside. It lets you see your preferences. It lets you see how you're resonating with specific topics. And so when you see that, you are then aware of it and you can then make change if you choose to do so. And you can leave it the same if you want as well. But most of us, when we see things that do not work, we tend to want to change them. And that's how consciousness shifts. Awareness looks in on it, right? Awareness and consciousness. Awareness is the whole bowl. Consciousness is the selection part of it, right? Because your consciousness is all you believe and accept as true. When you look on that part of life, or you look on that with your torchlight, you look on it, or flashlight, like everybody else would say, right? When you look on that thing, you see it, and you see it as it is for that instant. And then you decide, am I keeping it this way? Is this desirable to me? Is this how I want it to be? If
Mhm.
it's not how we want it to be, we then seek to change.
And this is where the
Yeah.
alchemization comes in.
Yes.
So we're going to have you look at obstacles for a moment, okay? We're going to workshop with you and we're going to look at some obstacles, because once we can move through the obstacles, then we can get to the power part of our thoughts, the powerful version of our thoughts and our inner vision, so that you start to build that unshakable foundation, right? Yeah.
I have one more bar to say on
Okay.
this, and then we move out of this completely. But this is for awareness on all levels for everybody that's here. It's going to sound a bit shadowy here, but I have to say it because I believe it will move us forward as a whole here, right? You know that most people who have like major addictions, etc., the point that is in common, because I've dealt with a lot of people on this level as well, but there's one point in common that they say they all had, which allowed them to make a change. And that point is one day they look at themselves in a mirror or they look at themselves somewhere and they're just like, wow, what happened? That feeling of shock
Mm.
when they're like, ooh, they
Mhm.
know they've gone just that bit too far, right? Where you gone like, or like you know, you just reach that past your point of being all right with a thing. That moment, that shocking moment is when change comes, because they finally looked at it and said, wow, this has gone too far. I'm ready to make a change. That's when the
And that
change
shock
comes.
could come in many
Yes,
ways,
yes,
right? Remember yesterday I was sharing on our drive down here,
yes.
it's very uncomfortable to sit in our stuff. I laugh about this all the time in Thrive Evolution, that it's not fun. Like, I don't think anybody enjoys just being like, yeah, sign me up like every day. I just want to sit in my stuff. Like, it feels so good. No,
Yeah.
we're not doing that. We're like, oh man, there's a part of us that's resisting it. But that moment sometimes comes where we know we've been either holding in an old framework, holding in an obstacle, or letting an obstacle stop us from really becoming the grand version of ourselves for far too long. We've been distracting, we've been procrastinating, we've been spinning different stories. Maybe we keep bouncing from thing to thing to thing to thing. These are all different obstacles, and I'm going to highlight some for you in the next moment here, okay? And on the next page it says unconscious payoffs. Okay, in the notebook, unconscious payoffs, which Gabriel's going to talk about in a moment. And then there's a section there for you to write what's keeping you stuck. Now, stuck could be not in momentum, stuck could be feeling confusion. There's many different reasons why we would feel stuck or not fulfilling what we want. All right? So you can use that page just like you see the boat kind of stuck in the sand, right? There's this like beautiful rainbow that's there, but it's like we're stuck in the mud. And it feels like that sometimes, especially when there's change and transformation. Even reading what Carlin is moving through, right? When you have a newborn baby, all of a sudden everything changes because now you've got this other being, you've got their soul. And as a mom, as a parent, it's not just about you anymore. You've got all these other little ones that you're like, okay, how do we navigate everyone's path, everyone's journey together? This was something we talked a lot about actually in one of the Thrive classes, was really about being able to honor everyone's journey, everyone's path at the same time. And there is a way to be able to do that. But first we have to move out some of the ick and stick, right? So feeling like I haven't been able to maybe get clear, I haven't been able to focus. I get that 100%. Like I said yesterday, many of you saw when we had the twins as babies, and one thing that I know for myself, and this isn't for everybody, I'm just going to share this. You have to know yourself too. Some people are like, I'm going to be mom right now, and I'm going to be fully in mom mode. And I just trust and I know that this is my purpose. This is the greatest thing that I could do. Right? Part of me, I dream of that sometimes. And yet I've always had this other piece that being of service, teaching, facilitating, working with clients, it keeps me in alignment. That's just me. It keeps me in alignment. Just like other people, they need to work out. Other people need to meditate every day. Other people need to be in spiritual community regularly because it keeps you in alignment. For me, teaching, facilitating, serving always keeps me in alignment. I could have a total SHIT show going on in my life. The moment I get into here, I'm like, I'm in full alignment. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh my God, I feel so great. And then the clarity drops down for everyone in the room, but also for me, because that's how the divine works. The divine doesn't work just for one. The divine looks at the whole. It's like, how do we make sure everyone and everything is taken care of? How do we make sure everyone's purpose is being fulfilled here? It's not just saying your purpose is more important than someone else's. It would never do that. So let's look at some obstacles, okay? I'm going to list some. I want you to start writing some of the obstacles that are coming up for you. And if you want, share it in the comments, because I think this is really important. Sometimes you guys will say something that someone else just doesn't have the words to say. And they're like, oh my God, I read that. And it's like, that's exactly what I've been dealing with. That's the power of community, right? Some of us are the voices for others. Some of us take a stand for others. And then others read it and they go, holy cow, that's exactly what I've been going through. Okay, so feel free to share it in the comments, all right? So some obstacles that I wrote down. First, I just want this to be super clear. Why do the obstacles come? Why do the obstacles come? They're not coming to stop you from living your purpose. They're not coming to stop any part of you. They're actually coming to grow you. Obstacles grow you if you let them grow you. They help us grow 100%. Okay, so obstacles. I have a whole list.
I'll talk for a quick bar
Yeah.
on this since you searching for the next. What I see is anything that you take on that you want to grow in, it's gonna require practice of the skill set of what it looks like to master that. So even in terms that everybody understands, when you go to the gym, for instance, you're gonna start and maybe you will look at lifting a little 5 pounds or something, you're doing your little curls or whatever, right? But you're not gonna stay there forever. In order to get stronger, you're gonna have to do more than that, right? You're gonna have to have more resistance, more weight. And by doing that, the body tends to adapt to that. So you get stronger, right? And that's how it goes with everything in life, really. You take on something small or considerably small to you, and you deal with that firstly, and you get good at that. Next thing you know, you're in a relationship with somebody trying to do that, to expand on that topic. Next thing you're doing it within a community with more voices, more people, more opinions, more things to deal with. And you get bigger and bigger in that way till you become so proficient, so efficient too, in actually doing that process that you can almost do it with your eyes closed, right? That's how we mature. That's how we get better. So
Yeah,
that's a part of that.
100%.
Yeah.
So some common ones that I've written down, just that what we've seen in ourselves, but also recently with clients and people that we've been talking to. Fear. Fear is a big one. Fear was a big one that came up for me. Fear of being seen on the next level, fear of stretching outside of my comforts, fear of doing some things that are not within my normal wheelhouse. Fear came up big time for me. Big time. And so fear can show up in all different forms.
Yes.
Fear of the unknown, fear of growing yourself, fear of what if this is going to cause some big change in my life? Probably will. Changes are happening all the time. It probably will.
Fear of being seen and
Fear of being
standing for
seen.
something as well,
Mhm.
right? These are fears that people face. Yeah.
Another one is confusion. That's a big obstacle that comes up. I mentioned it a number of times. Confusion. It swirls and swirls and swirls. What am I to do? I don't know. I think I know. I think I got the drop down. Yep, that feels aligned. Oh no, I don't know if that's it. Well, how do I do that? How am I going to execute that? What's that going to look like? Does that mean I have to burn down my entire life in order for this new thing to happen?
Yes.
Mass confusion, right? One part of you says yes, the other part of you is like no. And then you're like, which is it? I don't know, right? And then we just sit in, I don't know, and then we do nothing, right? Another one, I have a really fun hack around that, by the way. Another one is uncertainty. So the confusion often leads to uncertainty because then we're like, right? We don't have clarity, uncertainty, have no idea. Another one that comes up. Oh, you want to add?
Yeah.
Go. Yeah.
This one is linked to fear in a way, but it's one that comes up in tricky ways. So it's worth mentioning definitely. Judgment, but not judgment from the form of necessarily always people judging you, but judgment in the form of you as the individual judging yourself and then feeling like you're being judged by others because you're judging yourself in the first place. That's how judgment plays, right? And it's kind of tricky in that way because it's kind of hard to see where it began.
Totally.
But once we could catch that one, we're able to get out of it. Yeah.
I just
yeah.
got to pause for a second. Any of you, as we're talking about this, feeling something in your body? Like, as we're talking about this, right away for me, because I'm an expressor, my throat chakra is like my BS detector. Like, it's the thing that will, like, things will start to come up. It'll show me when there's something going on and something needs to clear. Pay attention to that, okay? Because that's part of your consciousness, your body, your being, even your intuition that's saying, hey, you might have some of this, right? In the stomach. You might have some of this stuff. And that's your body speaking to you. One of my favorite things that I studied as a holistic healthcare practitioner was the mind, body, spirit connection, that the body can't, it doesn't lie. It only reflects to you what you're holding inside of it. This is some of the deeper work that we do with our clients in Thrive and in light leadership, because the body will hold until you're ready to release it, until you have the tools, the confidence, the clarity, the space to actually clear it. It will hold it for you. And so right now, as we're talking about this, because we've also set the intention between Alexandra, Gabriel, and myself, that we're holding a field of healing for you all today as well. We're holding a prayer field for you, that things are going to come up, and it's a good thing. Because if it doesn't come up, you still have to hold it. It's like holding gas in your belly. Y'all know that doesn't feel good, right? You got gas in your belly and you're like, I got nowhere to release it. That does not feel good. It's like
Yeah.
Aria the other day at the conference. She was laughing so hard. Oh, it was so cute. She was laughing so hard. It was just like, the energy was bursting out everywhere. I've had that happen many times too, where it's like you're holding it, you're holding it, you're holding it. It's just like something's got to release, right?
Yeah, actually, I heard stories about people who had to go to the hospital for that. Actually,
Oh, that's
they
awful.
held in the gas so long
Oh, that's awful.
that it just
Eh.
yeah, they had to go handle that.
No.
Okay,
No,
yeah,
that's terrible.
yeah.
So don't hold it
You
in.
don't hold it in.
Hold it in.
Just let it rip, let it rip, let it rip,
Okay.
baby.
Then what I want you to do is start to bring your breath and bring light, intention, energy. Okay. Know that you're connected to source. Know that you are connected to the divine. Know that you have this light that gets to flow through you. It's part of your birthright. And as you feel that uncomfortability, imagine breathing light and energy and breath into that area of your body, and then just start to let go. Acknowledge it and let go. Like Caitlin was saying, fear of being challenged with facts when I speak from intuition and heart space, right? So being somebody who's super
Nice,
intuitive,
nice.
there's fears there, right? Like, what if somebody challenges me? What if someone
Good.
questions me? I get that. I've had that happen I don't know how many times. And as a leader,
Yes.
this is going to come. I guarantee you. All of our light leaders, these are some of the conversations that we have. People are going to question you. People are going to come at you. I had somebody criticize me publicly on one of our ads saying, you realize that you spelt a line wrong, like publicly. And I was just like, okay, like get over it. You know what I mean? And was rude about it, There were like, we've had all sorts of things come at us. And I just now, somebody said something, they were like, they said, okay, scammer, just pray to Jesus. And that was it. And I was like, block. Like, I do not entertain that anymore. Right? I don't take it on. Now, if you're being affected by it, then that's part of your cleanup. That's part of your clearing. Okay. Lack of trust. That's part of what that is, Caitlin, is the lack of trust too. If we trust fully in our source, in self, in our purpose, in what we're here to do, in our mission, you're going to stand no matter what. Doesn't mean you're not going to feel those moments of like when people come and stuff comes, but fear of trust or not lack of trust, that comes up.
Yeah,
Right?
and with the idea of being challenged too, just to dive into that for one quick sec, when we're challenged, it's the same thing again, right? The world is bringing something before you that's almost like in the way of you fulfilling immediately what you want to. But think of a challenge this way. Imagine if that challenge was used as a way of you getting a deeper understanding of the topic. Because now they're asking you questions that allow you to dive deeper into answering that. In fact, most people who really grow in business and all the things that they do are asked questions sometimes that they don't even have the answer to at the point in time. And you know what they say? They say, I'll get back to you on that later. And they go do the necessary research to understand that part of things and then bring it back when they're ready. Or
You tune into source.
you tune into source,
That's what
right?
you do.
Because if you can tune in with your intuition and you can really listen inwardly, you will hear an answer and you might go check and find out that answer is exactly right. It happens a lot of the time, right? So it's just about your ability to receive that as it is and then transmute the energy into something that's useful. and use that to continue to grow.
Which
Right?
Gabriel's going to walk you
we
through
do
a
that.
practice in
We
a
will.
moment,
We
but
will.
you're going to
Yeah.
start. We just got to bring some of this stuff up, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gabriel mentioned this already, afraid, like of being seen. And Caitlin just mentioned it. I actually have this written down right here. Afraid of what people think of you.
Oh,
What are people going to think of me? If I stand in this purpose, if I change my life, if I drive my family down to wherever, if we change this, if we do this, if we do whatever, la 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 la, this is your life, not theirs. But a lot of times this comes up. We're afraid of what people might think.
and that's the internal judgment, by
Yeah.
the way, that we were speaking about a bit earlier, right?
Yeah.
Because you're judging yourself in a way where you look at it as, well, what will they think of me, when really you're thinking of them thinking of you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
you're doing that to yourself. We
Yeah.
always do that one. Yeah.
Some other ones are lack of clarity, which I mentioned, lack of focus, which Carlin brought up, the ability to focus, like not being able to focus on, well, what is that? Maybe we just need to be with ourselves and go, is this my purpose? Right? Am I fulfilling? And that's like the greatest question all of you could ask. This is not in your notes. Am I in alignment? Right now in this moment, am I in alignment with my highest purpose? Am I in alignment with my highest purpose? This was the question I was asking myself over the last 6 weeks because I could feel what was coming. And there was a part of me that I'm like, yes, a lot of it is, like 80% was. And there was some stuff that wasn't, and I could feel it. And it's a next level, a next layer that's being birthed, which is what we're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to really go deeper into the next layer, but we have to move out some of this stuff first. Okay. So let us know in the comments, what other things come up for you? Health issues, that can be a stopper, 100%. Having support or not support, that could be another obstacle. You're like, I want to do this thing. And then the people around you are like, no, no. Like, who do you think you are? No, you cannot do that. Questioning, right? Let me know in the comments. What other obstacles? Alexander, what other obstacles have you heard lately with clients or just in general in the world that we haven't mentioned?
I think the obstacle of this notion that we have like a cap, right? Like I don't have enough energy. I don't have enough time. So feeling that restriction versus like really starting to explore like where in my world do I actually see abundance? So that's kind of where one of the tools and practices that we like to share in the community. Because I think that's one of the most powerful spaces when we feel some of these like what feels like external restrictions, gotta go in.
Yeah.
And that's where you find that abundance, or that's where you find, again, the peace, the clarity, and the recognition, right? Like this is leaning back into the belief conversation, that recognition that if you believe that you're capped, it feels like you're capped, right? You're holding in the gas versus can you let it out? Can you let it out and recognize that you're actually this overflowing being, right? So I hear that a lot. I think outside of our community in the larger Facebook group where we get to communicate, but even with our members who are consistently working because they're consistently up leveling. And I think that you feel it more almost, right? When you're in those positions and situations where you're feeling the sandpaper and you're bursting at the seams because you're actually in that expansion and growth moment.
I'm glad that you brought that up because that's the speed up of the energy, right? Like when you're in those spaces and you're like, I'm choosing to grow, you're going to grow. But the cool thing about that is that you're going to grow faster, faster, faster so that you open more and more and more. And then you get to be in that beautiful, expansive state. Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about the unconscious payoffs?
Yes, indeed.
And what that is?
Yeah.
And then there's the second page. Here, come. I'll help you. Come.
Mommy's gonna help you for a bit. Yes. So the payoffs, the unconscious payoffs that we're talking about here are these things in particular. Like you're moving towards a goal, for instance. I'll give you an example of it here. You're moving towards a goal, and somehow every time you reach a specific point, it seems like, oh, something happened, something pulled me out of it. This thing came up, that thing came up. That's how it shows up in the world most of the time. And we may think, wow, well, that's just my luck. Some people say things like that still. That seems like an ancient story, but some people still have that one, right? That's just my luck, or this always happens, and these sorts of things. But I want to bring up a little conversation about this because I witnessed this in university actually, and it was one person in particular that brought it to mind. Luckily, I'm not going to mention the name or anything like that, but I saw this guy that came in the same time with us in our year and everything like that, and I ran track and played football and all of those things. I did a number of sports in university, but I joined the football team, and this guy is a footballer, right? He came in, and within the first month, he had a cast on because he hurt himself, right? And he started to get a lot of attention from the girls mostly, right? Like, keeping him like a little pet and taking care of him because he's hurt and all of this stuff. And he liked it. What I noticed that was really funny in the whole thing is through his entire career in university, every time I saw this guy, he was in a cast
Oh boy.
for the entire college career or university career. I'm not exaggerating here. This guy was on crutches for the entire university career. So he just constantly kept getting hurt. And that brought to my awareness that somehow this state, because of the affection and the attention he was getting, right, was reinforcing in him that that's the way that he would get that attention. And he kept that up. I don't know how he managed to be hurt so many times, but this guy's entire career was like that. And I looked for it in other places when I went on in my career as well in the beginning. And I saw that people had these patterns where if they were getting something from the experience by being hurt, or by being stopped in some way, affection, attention, or whatever, they would go and recur and repeat that same thing in order to have that happen, but in different forms, slightly different forms. It's never exactly the same. But because there is that, and that's when I noticed that there is such a thing as a payoff. And the payoff is simply that what you would get from the experience, having failed, is what we consider failed at least, is greater than what you see as the pull towards the fulfillment of that intention that you have. And so sometimes we set an intention and we think we really want that intention, but as we go towards it, something else of greater interest to us is available through it. So we take that route instead and we settle for that. I'm using a big word here, settle. I know it's a small word, but it has big meaning, right? We settle for that. We're content with that. So we keep that and we don't really go all the way towards it. So the payoff is the thing that you take in placement to replace the ideal, to replace the fulfilled ideal or the fulfilled intention. And it's literally like a payoff, like something happened between you and somebody. Let's say you had an accident or something like that, right? And you could keep it hush and you could just take like a small change or whatever and get away and that's it, it's done. That's what a payoff actually is. It's you settling for something instead of what you really want. So we do that a lot at a time and we do that unconsciously, right? And sometimes it's really not something that you're even aware of. That's the hard part of it. It's hard to catch because you don't notice that you're settling for a substitute. You don't notice that you're settling for a replacement. You just feel like, oh, well, this is good. Things are working. I'm happy. But are you really happy? Did you really make that mark? Did you really achieve the intention that you set out to make, right? It's like an athlete. So again, I always bring it back to athletics because that's what I did, right? You set out to hit a goal, and somewhere along the way, it's like, this other thing here, this recreational thing feels better, man. I'm happy here, I'm playing, and you really don't go for your goal. Was that really your goal? No. So on some level, you'll still be unfulfilled. It won't feel 100%, right? The next thing I want to speak about, that was payoffs, right? The next thing I want to speak about is this idea of learned helplessness, which is prevalent now. All of you probably know about it by now, but I want to mention it in a way that you can understand if you haven't come across the topic before. There's this idea where you're trying to create, let me put it this way. There was a test done on it that's really simple. What they did was they took this bunch of words and scrambled them up, right? And they gave them to two groups of people in a room. Okay, one group of people, right, was given, in fact, the first group, one of them got unsolvable words, firstly, like words that would not make anything at all. And the other group got words that were very easy, right? So in the first round, everybody on the right side got all their words because it was super easy. In the first round, everybody on the left got words that they just couldn't solve. And it happened really fast. They were told that they had the same words. So then the people on the left, right, started to almost feel defeated because, hey, I had the same amount of time as these people here, and I wasn't able to find it. So they told themselves a story, right? They told themselves a story. Guess what happened on the next round? They gave everyone the exact same words on the second round, right? Guess what the performance was on that second round when they gave them the same exact words and everybody had the same time? And I know you guys could guess this, obviously, but I'll say it. The people on the left who had difficulty in the first round messed up on the second round as well. They didn't do that well on the second round, even though it was the same words. And the people on the right, well, they did well because they had a success already, right? So they felt confident. And this is what learned helplessness really is that once your confidence is shot, you actually underperform all of a sudden. You don't perform at your highest level, you perform subpar because you believe you're going to perform subpar. And they couldn't finish it in time. Same words, everything. And believe me, these guys were of equal intelligence. It's not like one group was really smarter than the other. It's just one group had a failure at first and they felt defeated. So then when they took on that second challenge, they just couldn't perform all of a sudden. And that happens through so many areas of life that people are unaware of. And in our own lives, if we have things in our lives, people in our lives, experiences in our lives that tell us that we're not good enough, or we'll never make it, or that there are better people than us in the world, who are we to think we could do it, or all of these stories that we tell ourselves, that teaches us to be within that frame of, I can't really do it. If I try to do this, I'll probably fail anyway, so why try? I'm not that special. I'm not as intelligent as the other people. I don't have the skill sets. I don't have this. I didn't go to this school. I didn't go to a prestige school. All of these things, I'm not prepared. All of these things people bring up, right? And that's learned helplessness. It's us making ourselves little, where really, if we're able to open up ourselves up to possibility yet again, we could walk right past that and start to perform again. But that's the challenge right there, right? Being able to transform that. I've seen people of such intelligent people, I'm telling you, like ridiculously intelligent people have a belief that's stopping them and they cannot see their genius. They have no idea that they're a genius. They have no idea. And they can't function at their highest level a lot of the time just because they have a belief around it. They're stopped. And then when you see them on their own doing whatever, it's amazing. You're like wowed by the fact that a person could actually do such a thing, but they don't even know that they have the ability to be so great. It happens so many times in life, right? So this is something, this one in particular, it's a huge one, and it's one that goes under the radar because it looks like I just don't have it. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy, and all of these stories that we tell ourselves, but it's
There's
just
too
not.
many obstacles in the way.
Yes, all those things come up, but that's not true. That's just something that you're believing. It's a default setting, right? So we got to change that setting, right? And these limiting beliefs, they cloud the soul's true plan because your soul is radiant. It is luminous. We're not just saying this like when we say it's luminous and radiant on both levels, we mean in terms of things that you can't see. And in terms of things that you can see, there's a radiant light shining from you for real. You're like really light, right? This is real. So when those clouds come up, they kind of block that plan for a second for you. You can't see it. And if you can't see it, you'll never act fully. You'll go into that mode of feeling helpless instead of feeling like, I can accomplish this. I can do this. Regardless of what the skill sets are. Can't you learn new skill sets? Can't we all learn new skill sets? Can't we all continue to learn and grow? So then if there's a skill set that you don't know, what's the logical thing to do if you were really on that path? Learn it. Get it done, right?
Or start to move out the obstacles.
Yeah.
And then the way gets clear.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what Gabriel's going to do with you right now.
Yeah.
We're going to be here for probably another 10 minutes because we
Yes.
want to do this practice with you. It might take 5 minutes. We love our Thrive in 5 practices. So we get to thrive in 5 minutes. You get to make a transformation in 5 minutes. So it might be 8.
It might
It might be 8 minutes.
With me, you know me. Knowing me, it might be it. I like us to get relaxed before we dive right into the practice, right? It helps.
Just to let you all know. So when clients come and work with us in
Yeah.
Thrive Evolution or in Light Leadership, sometimes, very rarely, like we'll bring a Thrive in 5 practice, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time we give you like a good 15 to 20 minutes to go into that practice. But we also here, we love to bring forward these 5-minute practices because we get that everybody's got a lot on the go. We've got a lot to do, right? So we want to make sure that, and it also proves to you that you could actually move a lot of energy. You can move a lot in like 5 minutes in short time periods. It doesn't have to take you your entire life to clear all these obstacles. If your mind is telling you that you're like, holy shnikes, like I got a lot of stuff to clear. I'm never going to reach my purpose. That's not what we want you to believe right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We want to show you and demonstrate and have you have an experience that you could actually move some obstacles quick. 5 minutes, maybe 8. Fast, fast,
All right,
fast.
so you're gonna get the
So that
fast
you're
relax.
gonna get the fast
into the
relax,
practice.
okay? Because you guys are sitting and receiving, so you're probably pretty relaxed already.
Yeah.
But also, we want to show and we want you to know that you can actually move energy quickly. If anybody ever comes to me as a client and they say, "Oh my God, I've been dealing with this thing for 15 years," I'm like, "What have you been doing?" Like, it should not take you. I have seen people, myself, all of our clients that work with us, move energy quick. We can move obstacles quick because the faster you get to move those obstacles, the faster you get to be in joy and expansion and in alignment with your soul's purpose, right? Even if there are some childhood little t traumas, okay? All of us have childhood stuff. We all have childhood stuff. Now, that's a little bit of a deeper process that we do in Thrive and Light Leadership. However, I have watched people do inner child healing, inner child work, subconscious clearings, and be able to move stuff fast. Now, there's layers to it, just like there's layers to our purpose, there's layers to some of these traumas, to these hurts and pains, and you can move the layers quickly. Okay. So I'll be quiet. I'll let you go into clearing it, and because I can't remember what you guys have, what you see in your notes, but it says clearing the obstacles, and then it says energy shaping clearing process. Okay, so Gabriel's going to walk you through that. I'm going to go make some notes.
So right where you are, just begin to relax the body. And what I'd like you to do is as you inhale, feel as you're inhaling into the entire body. Feel the body as a balloon, relaxing and softening as you inhale. So the ligaments, tendons, the muscles, even the bones feel like you're breathing into the bones. Like birds breathe into their bones, you breathe into your bones as well. Breathe fully into that space and relax the entire body. And then on the exhale, you're just releasing any tension, any tightness, any concerns that arise, you release them with the breath. And just take a few breaths, resting the body, letting the body feel as if it's sinking into the surface that you're on. And you're breathing deeply, deeply, deeply into the body. Yes, relax the body. Make sure that the face is clear and relaxed. The tongue, make sure that the tongue is rested on the bottom surface of the mouth and relaxed. It might be gently touching your teeth, that's okay, but let it relax. If the tongue is relaxed, the entire body tends to relax as well. So relax that tongue nice and flat. And just continue to breathe. Good. And now allow yourself to peruse an intention that you have. Bring up an intention that you have that's important to you, something that you'd like to achieve or experience. Just bring it up. Bring up what that would look like for you. It could be a family intention. It could be an intention for finances. It could be an intention for you becoming more of who you'd like to express as in life, or who you'd like to be in life, who you'd like to show up as, the type of person you'd like to be. Just feel into that. Just see that, right? Whether it's you and your posture in a specific way, the way you carry yourself, the way you express, the confidence that you feel, the strength that you feel inside. Just begin to browse on these ideas for a bit and see and feel what they feel like for you. And continue to feel that for a second. And now that you feel that and you have an idea of what that is, make sure that that idea is nice and solid. Feel it properly, feel into it. Even if it's something like being joyful, being happy, being truly happy, just feel what that feels like firstly. And now begin to think of the things that have stopped you so far from fulfilling that intention or seem like they're stopping you. Bring those to mind. And as you see and feel that, you might start to feel a little constriction. You might start to feel the tips of the tummy, etc., turning inwards and pressing in. You might start to feel the breath feeling a bit different, right? You might start to feel the breath going more shallow. Just pay attention to what's happening within that body that just felt so wonderful. Start to feel it, start to feel what's going on as you think of this new thing, as you think of the things that are stopping you. And continue to feel for a second. You're not going to stay here forever, but just feel it so you can see it. Like we said, you can now see it. All right. So now as you see that, bring about the visual of your radiance, the light within you, just like the sun in the sky. In fact, if it helps you, visualize the sun in the sky and see those blocks, those obstacles, those things that arise as those clouds, those dark clouds that come before that sunshine, come before that light. And as you breathe, as you continue to breathe, working with that breath, as you exhale, visualize yourself blowing the clouds out of the way of that light. As you physically exhale, see those clouds moving out of the way of that light, moving across and off your screen, off to the left or off to the right, but off the screen. And feel that radiance coming up again. Feel that inner radiance rising to your awareness. Feel the goodness of who you are and what you are about to accomplish arise to your awareness again. And now go a level deeper. Find another set of obstacles that have stopped you in the past regarding a situation or regarding this situation. Something that has stopped you. Whether it's people, their judgments, whether it's this whole idea of imposter syndrome, not feeling like the person that you really would like to be, whether it's a limitation in your skill sets or feeling like you're not proficient enough in any area. Bring that up to awareness and again, feel what you feel. Now you'll start to feel that constriction. Again, it could even be in the heart, right? Feel that area around there and feel the constriction that you're feeling if there is any. And again, let that constriction become the cloud that is before this inner radiance, before this brilliance that is you. And as you inhale, breathe deeply into that inner radiance space. And as you exhale, again, let those clouds blow out of the way. Let those clouds move, those dark clouds move off to the left, move off of the screen. Feel them move out of the way and vanish from your screen. And again, the inner radiance is there for you. You see it, you feel it, you know it. Now that you know it and you're accustomed to moving back to it, feel your way deeply into it. Dive into it completely. Let that radiance encompass your entire body, encompass your entire mind, encompass the feel that you are. Feel yourself in it and feel it in you. And feel that oneness with the idea becoming you, the ideal becoming you. Feel the ideal within you. And as you continue to breathe, if anything else arises, use that breath on the exhale to continue to move anything that arises. And know now fully, as you begin to come out of this, know now fully that with your breath, as these concerns arise, all you need to do is tap in with the breath and exhale, moving and releasing the space inside that you've created with this inner radiance. And gently start to move back into the body. Feel the toes, feel the fingers, feel your way back in. When you're good and ready, you can either pop the eyes open or put the hands over the eyes and then gently open the eyes into the palm so that the light streams in gently. And I'd like you to write in the comments, number one, how that felt for you, okay? And also, I want to let you know that this is just the beginning of the process here that we're talking about. You will definitely have instant results from this. You'll see and feel different, but you can take this a level further. You can dive deeper into this to the point where the idea of having to always recalibrate is not what you're thinking of anymore. You'll feel that steady state. You'll feel that steady state and that radiance within you that you can continue to hold through all of it, which will then shift all of it, right? So, looking,
So
yeah,
beautiful.
thank you.
It felt
Yeah,
great. Felt my body shift physically.
beautiful.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
See how
Yes,
powerful it can be?
yeah,
Right? Like again, I really want you to hear that it doesn't have to take long. It can feel challenging. It can feel big. And if you want to choose for it to be fast, it can be fast. Okay? Beautiful. The first time I've sat with my breath and meditated.
in too long.
Oh, that's so good. Really felt that inner radiance so strong.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Shoot, I think I fell asleep. Back in bed. Gabriel's so relaxed.
Yeah, my voice was like that. So it's like,
you just turn into like Jello.
yeah, the basic baritone tends to be right to sleep.
Yes, it's so nice. So good for relaxing.
Yeah.
It does feel great. Sunrise. That's so beautiful. Amazing. So again, you can come back and listen to this practice. The more I always love really great practices that are simple, that work fast, and that I can easily remember to do again and again and again and again and again.
And
right?
this is one you can do on the go, by the way. You don't have to be all still in a room by yourself to do this. Just that act of being able to reconnect and breathe, that exhale with that visual, you could do that anywhere, any day, anytime.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was incredible. I saw my future self beaming at me. That's so
Beautiful.
good. We'll go back and do it again for sure. 100%. 100%. And then I saw Brenda saying calmer, more centered. Every time you said blow it out the wind.
Yeah,
The
went
wind went crazy.
That happened here too, actually. It was happening outside here too
We
at the same
affect
time.
the whole thing.
It's no chance. It happens.
Perfect
Yes,
timing. The leaves were dropping so fast.
yeah.
Yes, and Michelle was saying, by the way, Linda is my friend and she's also being my accountability partner. That's so good.
Yeah.
Definitely. We can definitely do podcasts together. Lighter, more energized.
Yes,
That's so
yes.
good. Breathing into the bones. So good. So good. So then from this space, so this is the last thing that we want to share, and then we'll let you guys go. From here now, your soul work, okay, for today will be to continue to pay attention to when you contemplate or think about purpose, dreams, goals, intentions. Notice the obstacles that come up in your awareness. Use the practice that Gabriel just shared with you. Move the energy before you build the belief. Okay. You got to move the energy before the build the belief, because if you don't, then you're just layering on top of old stuff. And then remember I said at the beginning, that old stuff seeps through. Okay. So then once you've moved the energy, your soul work then for the rest of today and this week is to start building beliefs. That's in the notes, building beliefs. So you can use that space then. And a belief is whatever the thought is you want to have. All right. When you message Alexandra, and you say, I want my second puzzle piece, please. I want my second puzzle piece, please. I just sent it to her. And so she has a little bit more that on this topic, the building the beliefs, that she's going to send to you along with your next puzzle. And it's literally a puzzle piece. Like those of you that messaged her, it's actually a puzzle piece. And so you're starting to build a puzzle. You're building your own purpose puzzle. All right. And so message her for the next piece of your purpose puzzle. She'll send it to you and a little bit of extra. Then we want you to use this space to reaffirm, write it down, because when you write it down, you're reaffirming it. And then when you see it, you reaffirm it again. And then when you repeat it, you reaffirm it again. All right. So use that space to write down the beliefs that support your vision and support where you want to go and who you want to become. And if you want to come over to the Facebook group, if you're on Facebook, if you're not on Facebook, you could just send us an email at team@academyoflight.ca. If you're not on Facebook, if you are on Facebook, pop on over to the Facebook group. Alexandra, if you could post the Facebook group link, that would be really awesome. Pop on over. We're going to do a purpose after party. And today's purpose after party is this. Hold on. I have so many notes. You should see them. I got three notebooks and my phone. All right. So what we want you to do is, as you've anchored that belief, so once you're like, okay, this is the new belief. It could be, I am overflowing with love. I am overflowing with abundance. I am overflowing with health. I'll just give you an example one, right? So once you anchor it in and you write it down and you know what that belief is, we want you to anchor it, take a step further in the party, okay? And I'm going to post it in the Facebook group, and you'll know exactly what that anchor point is for you. Okay. It's going to be a practice. It's going to help you anchor it, and it's going to be really, really fun. Now, for those of you, we'll just do this quickly. For those of you who took part in yesterday's purpose party, after party, we have a gift for you. So we gathered all the people who shared your photos of your passions and posted about your passions. I took all the people who shared, and we're going to do a draw. And the draw for whoever, we've got a little spinner here, and whoever wins, we are going to gift you one of the VIP spots for this week. So if you want to upgrade to VIP includes an extra live group session like this. It's just going to be more intimate on Thursday afternoon for an hour. You also, for those of you that upgraded to VIP, you're going to come ready tomorrow. I'll send you a message. Come ready tomorrow to do some hot seats with us. We're going to hot seat coach on Wednesday and Friday. You don't have to come on camera if you're not comfortable coming on camera. You could just send us what you want a hot seat, or if you want to keep it private, you just say keep it private so we don't say your name. We could do that. Okay. If you're open to it though, and you want to come on camera, you can come on camera. We're going to do hot seat coaching Wednesday and Friday with you. You've got that extra hour session on Thursday to go deeper. It'll be more intimate. And Gabriel created a energetic numerology report on where you're at right now and what you need to really be focused on from an energetic standpoint to help you fulfill your purpose. Okay. So it's only $35 if you want to come and upgrade to VIP. Whoever we choose here, we're going to gift you VIP. Okay. So I'm going to do the little spinning thing. And thank you to everybody who played and who posted all your passions. It was really fun to see all of your pieces of your passion. Just being quiet for a second.
We have a winner.
Karen Woodley. Karen Woodley. So we'll reach out to you and we'll make sure that you get VIP access. You want
Yes.
one more? I kind of feel like we should have
Or go
two.
for two. That'd be great.
Yeah? Let me take a screenshot.
Twice the winners.
Twice the winners
Twice the
today.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that took a screenshot. Yeah, it did. Okay, good. All right. So we're going to do it one more time and we're going to spin the wheel one more time for someone else who's going to be gifted VIP to come in for this week.
Ooh. Look at who it is. Yeah.
Courtney.
We have a winner.
Courtney
Neville Rutherford. Hi,
who-
Courtney.
Our clients for the
Yes.
last year.
Yes. Hi, Courtney.
Congratulations. So we'll send you a message to make sure that you have all the things and then what we need from you as well to do that report. So we want to congratulate you all. If some of you want to post today and come and play in the after party, we might just do some giveaways tomorrow. Who just knows? Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. We hope that you have a most beautiful day. Enjoy, go have fun. Message Alexander for that next piece of your puzzle so that you can help. It's going to help you integrate what we've been talking about here, especially around building belief. And I think you're going to really love it. It'll be a lot of fun. And then the after party conversation will be posted in the Facebook group. So pop on over there to find out what that is, because I think you'll really love that too. And I'll help you. Everything is to help you integrate. Integration, application is key.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.